today what we are going to do is that we will take up this very nice sutta. Talks about the different kind of the happiness. Okay, so how many types of happiness are there? That's the whole contextual insight what we are going to have. Okay, this is called Niramisa Sutta in Sanyukta Nikaya. Okay, and it's a good sutta for practice, not for theory. Okay, so we will practice as we go, and then we will see what happens. Okay. So first things first. Somebody has not experienced sensual pleasure. What he should do? He should enjoy sensual pleasure. What do you think? How many of you agree? How many of you disagree? How many of you agree to disagree? How many of you disagree to agree? So this is the tetralemma.
We when I was with you, Vilas sir, that it was important. If you're not having a happiness in your sensual pleasure, you cannot meditate. That's what I learned when I was there with you.
Correct.
If you just ignore the sensual pleasure, you will be in depression. So why you are living your life? You die better.
Yes, that's correct.
That's
So
my mislearning from you.
yes, it's correct. And I'd seen that. So it's once you understood, you let it go. Okay, so then you can get into the jhanik. So one thing about Ashwin is that when he came to my house, I was asking him, why are you so saddened? Meditation is something which makes you happy, not sad. If I say I'm meditating, it should automatically be smiley face, not a kind of face which looks dull. And if you see the person, you feel, what is he up to? So I'm saying Ashwin in a most depressed state of mind because he's fighting with himself, saying that it's all dukkha. So I told him that there is sensual thing. You can't disregard it. And after same day, I think he started getting bhanga, what he had done in Vipassana of Goenka. And the bhanga he started happening, I think, pretty fast. I think he can explain rather than I explain it. Because anyway, he has experienced it firsthand.
Yeah, Miss. What what I was corrected by Miss Sir that we should be enjoying the sensual pleasure. Then everything is good actually. We doing everything we doing for the or the life is only for enjoyment or happiness. And then the what we learn from till now in the meditation is everything is dukkha dukkha, and then we think it's dukkha is everything is dukkha, and then you get depressed in the meditations. Okay, everything is dukkha, your body is not good, your is you losing your body every day, health issues will come, jara maran will happen. So I get getting that thought process that okay, this may be a way to get good meditation or the way of getting the attraction to the body or the awareness. Then sir observe me that Vilas observe me that it's you are going in the depression, and then he just corrected me, and then I was struggling to get that experience what I was having in my retreat. So after that, he is also saying, okay, what to do, how to go at least to that level instead of. It was actually fourth or fifth jhana. It was that was experienced in the retreat. So we are not able to get because of this depression. So when I remove that and start enjoying the everything, then it's every time it's in the that fourth or in the fourth jhana, or the maybe in the bhanga states. That is always while walking and everything. It can come any times whenever I wish. Based on that, that's what is a correction happen. Even we
Park.
walking in the mall or somewhere anywhere in the park, then that lights also get inflated. Means the suddenly wherever the focus it goes into the body, and then it bright up the complete things around. Also, you feel whatever the light into you are in that get inflated. You think, okay, this light is not enough, but you feel inside light is more than the outside one. That's what is my observation.
And one another fascinating moment I could see in Ashwin is that we went to a mall called Orion Mall. So that day was Sunday and just so crowded. Even in that, he was getting it, and it was fun. And we went to Starbucks, had coffee. So you're having the same experience, irrespective of the Starbucks or you're in a mall or wherever it is. It was nice for him. So the thing what we need to understand is that there is happiness in the senses. If we get to a notion that there is no happiness in the senses, you have dug a grave. You will never be able to get away from there because it takes into aversion. And it not only takes you to aversion, that person to aversion, it will take you to the attakila matanu yoga, which means you start torturing yourself. The moment you start self torture, and that's it, you're dug a big hole which can never be filled up. And then comes, I will not do this, I'll not do that, I will not do that, I'll not do that. So all of I will not do will start to happen because in Kama Sukha, it's about I will like to do this. Now I gone to the another extreme, I will not do that. So Bhavatanha had happened, now it is Vibhavatanha. I don't want it. So we need to be careful and of not causing distractions of a nature of misunderstanding. Okay. So if someone has this wrong view that there is no sensual pleasure, then they are wrong. There is. And worst part is you can't escape sensual pleasures and also the pain. You can't because you're living in the world. So there would be senses. You can't cut off the senses. Okay. So like in the MN 152, Indriya Bhavana Sutta, somebody says, I will cut off my eyes and ears and nose and all that. A stupid person. You need to see the defect, adinava, not saying that there's no asada, there's no pleasure. The three things in Buddha Dhamma you need to understand. One, asada, pleasure. Adinava, danger. Nissarana, escape. If you miss even a single of them, you're back in the same square and you start to feel that you're in a different place. But no, come back to the same place. There's no difference. So the wrong view is that there is no pleasure. If there were no pleasure, you wouldn't have been born. So it would be madness to say that I don't want to work, I don't want to do this, I don't do. Don't put that I don't want to. That's not acceptable. And don't put I do want to. There's no I do want to and there's no I don't want to. They both are two extremes. I do want to takes you to craving, and I don't want to takes you to aversion. And when I get aversion, then I'm in dukkha. And dukkha is okay, but I get into depression. That life is depressive. So I lose interest. And that causes more worry and anxiety to the people around us. Let's say I'm with my wife and son, and then I start saying, this life is this, that, I don't, we shouldn't be doing this, we should do blah, 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 all that. And the wife get bugged, right? And then what happens? Divorce is one thing, it's fine. Now we can separate and painful separation and all of that is not worth it because after separating out, you did not separate the mind from the aversive nature. It follows wherever you go. It didn't matter whether I had a wife and now I've separated it, or I had a son and I don't deal with him anymore. That makes no sense. It makes nonsense of what I'm thinking. So, by not accepting that there is sensual pleasure, we are trying to stay in a half mode, which is never going to happen because the mind will not let it go and mind does not listen to you. There's nothing called as I will make my mind work this way. No, mind is an instrument. It's not a person. You can fine tune the instrument, but you can never win over the mind. It's not possible. And whatever you want to do is through mind only. So you just can't escape it. So the like in the case of Shaniel or in the anybody's case, if he starts tightening the mind and you see what happens, it stops the progress instantaneously. And if he loosens it, it creates even more problem. Yes, Ashwin.
Yeah, just one thing I want to tell also, which I didn't tell when I was in that before you correcting. I was just having a pain in the while I'm doing meditation. It's like a pain in the body. It's completely painful when you do Goenkaji's tradition. Then you just only see the dukkha samvedna or whatever he called it, samvedna or something. That's the problem with if you are not happy, then your whole body is in pain. It reflects in your body actually.
Okay,
That's
so
what,
yeah, sorry. Yeah, Ashwin, go ahead.
that's what I want to tell you. That's what
Yes.
nothing.
So now the what is the thing I need to do? I'm on a sitting meditation, let's say. What should I do? I should have some common sense in my life. Don't go blindfolded. You should have common sense. What's a common sense? Your body is not yours. The mind is not yours. Both are not yours. That's common sense. If somebody has a body ache or physical discomfort, you can't twist it, saying that, you know what, I will do it. Who are you to do it? There's no you there to do it. So push it as long as you could. And when it becomes unbearable, slowly release it and see what is happening. As soon as we release the leg or whatever portion, the blood starts flowing. And when the blood starts flowing, pain, that is an inflamed place, goes back. That's vipassana. You're able to see what happened. That doesn't mean that's not going to come back. It might come back somewhere else. Fine. Let it be. So that's how we can see the anicca nature, that it arise here and passed away, and again arise somewhere and pass away, again arise somewhere and pass away. So why I should have this opinion or a view that I will do it? Who are you to do it? There is no I at all. It's just a process. So the brain has receptors and it is sending a receptor saying that there is a pain. That's it. What you do with the pain is your choice, just like your bladder is full. I can take a aditthana saying that I will not urinate. Okay, take that aditthana, I will not urinate, and then you are going to face the consequence of what? Of urine entering your bloodstream, and then you are getting allergic reactions, and then you have to ultimately go to the doctor. And the doctor will say, have you gone nuts? And I'll say, look, I'm practicing Buddha Dhamma. He says that, do you want your body to stay or you want it to go? Without this body, you can't do anything. So I need to be smart enough No, don't have to act like a dumb fellow trying to do what is there in the text or what is said somewhere. But to have my own discretion. Now, is there a word called discretion in Buddha Dharma? Yes, and that discretion is called viveka. You look at what needs to be done at that moment and take action. Don't react. Going also says don't react to the sensation, not act with sensation. It's like I'm feeling like going to the toilet and then I say that I don't want to go. What do you mean? It's a process. It's an excretory process. Who are you to say I will not go? You have to get relieved. And that's pleasure, by the way, because once you're relieved of the stomach, what was filled up, or urine, that's just a process. There's no person there. You just go, evacuate, come back. In the same way, body pain comes, don't have a mental pain. Buddha says, don't have a mental pain, don't have an agitation to it. Why this has come now? No, has come, evacuate, back. Having a leg pain, stretch, come back. Don't have to make it a mental pain. Like I don't have an ACL on my knee. I was shit scared when I went to this Vipassana retreat because I'm not supposed to sit beyond half an hour in one posture. And then what happens? It locks. And when it locks, who is going to come? No one. Now I have to wriggle in pain. Nobody else can, right? So that makes no sense. If I go to the assistant teacher and tell him that I'm having leg pain, he'll say, see that sensation. What do you mean? It's tremendous pain, which requires hospitalization. So sometimes we should not go by opinions. We should go by what's happening. So there is pleasure. Please write it in whichever words you want. If you want to grow, accept to the fact there is pleasure. Yes, there is a problem with that pleasure. It is very limited. That's true. And hence you have to search for a better pleasure. And that is Niramisa Sukha. This is Samisa. Why? Because it doesn't stay. Simple as that. So, is there no Samisa Sukha? There is. Is there a Samisa Piti? There is. So, Buddha says four: Samisa Piti, Samisa Sukha, Samisa Upekha, Samisa Vimokha. Have you ever heard Vimukti in sensuality? I think for Bobby, it would be something of a strange experience that there is Vimokha also in sensuality. He always thought that Vimukti means liberation. Yes, there is liberation from sensuality. There is. And he says four: Piti, Sukha, Ekagata, and the Vimokha. So let's come to the first kind. Is there a Piti, joy? There is. Somebody's daughter does very well in the exam, like in the case of Bobby, and she comes and expresses her joy. And Bobby were to, what you can say, uh, discount it or make it look so trivial. It's a burden on that person because there is a joy of passing the exam. There is. But like my son comes and then he says that I'm being selected in so and so. And I say, that is nothing. It's ridiculous on my part because there is. So You have to accept to the fact that there is. Yes, it's limited, but there is. It's not sustaining, but there is. First, we have to accept there is. No running away. There is. So, samisa piti is when the kama guna completely functions. So, you need to see the kama guna. In fact, there's another sutta where Buddha says, no one can beat me in this. If somebody says and proves to me, tries to prove me that there is no sensual experience, I am the only person who has gone to the end of sensual experience. Meaning, nobody else can beat Buddha in sensual experience. What does that mean? The five strands into six categories. First, liking. Let's take Archana as an example here because she lives in Mumbai. She is standing in a station and she sees a empty train coming. Doesn't she like it? It's a relief. Isn't there a relief? There is. Itta in Pali means liking. Now she sits in the train. Isn't that a good feeling? All these days she was standing for long. Now she gets a place to sit and just emptiness, a whole seat. For whatever reason, that train, that local, what she's taken. In Mumbai terms, it's called local. That local, she has sat and the train is starting. Parking space, same thing. Yeah, you can take anything. Parking space. You go to a restaurant and then there's no rush. Or you get what the food you would love to get it. Or the waiter is very courteous. All of these are it like you like them to be like that. And you can't say, I don't care. That is attakila matanu. That leads to suffering. Instantaneously, you're suffering because you're not accepting what is being given at this point in time. Okay. Let's say, takes a case of Shaniel, he went into that the developer forum, and there is developer forum. He can't say that I don't think so. There's anything called a developer forum. Yes, in reality, it doesn't exist. Absolutely true. But there is. You need to participate. Yeah, just go and participate. You need to enjoy that, whatever the place is. Yes, enjoy it. Somebody has put in so much of effort to make that Apple Park. Enjoy. There is enjoyment. There is, but it's not long lasting. That's correct. But there is. There is a thing called as enjoyment. Enjoy. Don't take it too seriously. Like when I used to stay in Las Vegas, we used to go to MGM Grand. That's the place we used to stay. It's one of the, if you're in MGM Grand, it means wow. Because that's where the movies, MGM, if you have seen that initially you get that lion and MGM. And staying in MGM for a week, it's amazing the amount they charge, and just because the name, and then the rooms are fabulous. And and in Las Vegas you have no ceiling without lights. What they have done is they have mimicked the sky. So that city never sleeps. So what happens is if you were to enter into these hotels, you will never know it is night. It still shows you that you are in a day so that people can keep on gambling. It's a gambling capital. So they keep on playing without realizing it's already night. So when At MGM Grand, they have kept a zoo kind with real lions and all of that. It's two eyes are insufficient to see it. Now, isn't that liking? Yes, there is. There is liking. And then there is Rajaniya. Kanta, sorry. Kanta means it's enticing so much that you get an instant gratification for what you're seeing there, or what you're hearing, what you're tasting, what you're touching, what you're smelling. Get that, Kanta. Enamored, basically. Just being pulled. Like the seat, or like MGM Grand, like Apple Park, or like parking space, like what Bangala put, or anything. You feel enamored, captivated, and that is the place you want to be. So, Itta Kanta. It's as per your requirement. Manapa. My requirement was to get a seat. I got a seat. My requirement was to get a visa to Australia. I got a visa. That's Manapa. Am I not feeling happy or I'm feeling depressed? These Australian embassy people shouldn't have given me a visa. I don't think so. They should have given me. Is it? Or you feel happy? There is happiness. Show your happiness. Yes, I got the visa. What's wrong with that? No, I am following Buddha Dhamma. I've been told it's the pain to have a visa. It's a pain to have life itself. Birth is a suffering. So I want to commit suicide. Not going to end. So if we take Buddha Dhamma on the wrong side, it immediately pulls you towards depression. And the worst ever depression, not just depression. So, Pitta Kanta Manapa. Kama Upasamhita. It's a beautiful word. Kama is sensual. Upasamhita is that you want to keep it near. Tell me one thing. All of us are parents of our children. Don't you love them? Have you kicked them out or you taken a gun and shot them out saying that you're not my son or my daughter or whatever it is? Will you ever do that? Okay. And take for Ariu, for example, he is going in the train and taking his son around China. He's doing this holiday for his son. So can he say, I will throw his son out of the running train just because he want to be on a Buddha Dhamma? It looks ridiculous, if at all he did it, because he never understood the Dhamma. So Shaniel has 4 children, Ariu has 1, I have 1, and anybody has, like Bobby has 2 beautiful daughters. So they are, and they will hug you for sure. You can't say, hey, come on, I want a Buddha Dhamma. Sorry. What are you doing? So please. That looks ridiculous. What are you trying to say? You're no longer my daughter from today. Yeah, that's true. Keep it in your mind. Don't have to tell her. But she's a human being, right? That's human. Be human. Yes. So basically, to be born as a human, you should be so lucky. That's what Buddha says. And there's a sutta where he says there's one tortoise and comes once in 1,000 years, his head. Right? So you have to treat every human being, be it your wife or husband or daughter or son or whatever. They are lucky to be born as humans. So do whatever that takes you to make their life better. And that's Buddha Dhamma. Not about saying, I don't have a child. Yes, you don't have a child. That's true. You are naming it as your child. That is untrue. cut it off. But there is human being. Help the human being as you would help yourself. How? Just do this simple thing. Mata yata yam puttam ayusa eka puttama anurakhi. Meaning, just like a mother taking care of her only child, she doesn't want him or her to get hurt. Evam pi sabba bhutesu. Like that, do for everyone. Mana sambhavaye aparimanam. Let your mana, your vanity, increase so much that all the beings are within that. Right? And now there's no daughter. Agreed. I have my close friend Bobby. Yes. But I don't, uh, what I can say, distinguish or differentiate between the love I have for Bobby versus love I have for Aryu, or for Ashwin, or for Veena, or for Archana, or for Shaniel, or whatever it is. I'm not now going to promote Shaniel this high, saying that you look at Shaniel and everybody says, oh my goodness, now our new found joy is Shaniel, and that is even more worse because now that attachment will start. No, it's the same. Why don't I see myself as Shaniel and do what I could do as I'm doing for myself? Why don't I do that for him? And why don't I do for Bobby or for Ashwin or for Ari or whatever? That's how I would like to live. And then you're out of karma. The very second you're out of karma, because Joe. So this Kamupa Samhita will make it Rajaniya, enticing. So there is these five senses into six kinds, which you should accept, right? And that 30 of them is what called as joy and happiness. If it meets these conditions, then there is joy and happiness. Like a house. Have a nice painting, nice thing, air conditioning, washing machine. Now tell me one thing, why do you require a washing machine? You could have washed on your hands. Why take soap? You can use cow dung, right? You could do that. Why mow using a mower? Why don't you cut off the grass physically? Because you shouldn't be using any of one of these kind of you know these gadgets things. I'm being told that I shouldn't be using. I should go back to the root. So what I did is, when humanity first started, I'll go on that way. So somebody wants to drop me to the airport. I say, I will tell to Shaniel when I'm at his home. I say, Shaniel, don't worry. I will walk towards airport. Vilas, it is going to take 5 hours to reach airport. Yeah. I'll start at 9 p.m. from your home. And I'll walk and walk and walk, because you know what? Walking makes very strong. And I want to go back to the roots. And then I will reach the airport. But then Shaniel can ask this question: why don't you walk back to Bangalore? Why only till airport? What answer will I give him? It looks stupid. How will you cross 10,000 kilometers by walking? When will you reach? Isn't it stupidity, height of stupidity? Instead, I could ask Shaniel, can you drop me to the airport? Or if Shaniel cannot drop, take a Uber, cab, and go to airport. Simple. Pay some $100 and that's it. Go in royal style. No, I'll put a board here. I am a meditator. So, no, I'm a meditator. So what? It doesn't matter whether you are meditator or educator or this cater or that cater. It doesn't matter. No, I want to make sure that I don't indulge in sensual pleasure. Then why are you wearing shirt? Oh, thank you. Remove it. Then remove the below one also. Oh, yes, that reminds me. Yeah, remove. Then why are you eating? Because for pleasure. Don't eat. Now don't bathe. Then don't do shit. Then don't urinate. The next moment, Australian government is going to put me in a mental asylum and give a call to Shane Hill. I don't know what kind of mad person you are holding in now. This guy is creating nuisance in Brisbane airport. So in the paper it will come. And that's all is going to happen. So first let's understand that there is joy. If the flight flies on time from Bangalore, there is joy. If I reach airport from my house to the airport, is joy. If I get my immigration and other things done at Bangalore airport without line, there is joy. If I sit in the flight and the flight takes off at exactly the right time, there is joy. And if the flight lands in Sydney exactly the same time, there is joy. And if I'm flying by business class, there is joy. There is no hiding to say, no, business class or club class or economy class, as far as I'm concerned, is all the same. Yes, in your mind, same, but there is joy. Please don't forget. So, I, as a meditator, should not forget that there is joy. Now, how do I really make it a jhanic joy? Here is a trick for that. When I sit in the plane, just ask this question: how long will you be there on the business class seat? 12 hours max. So the money which has been paid will only come for 12 hours. Minusing the time you go to the washroom, minusing the time you sleep, you have, when you sleep, there's no enjoyment of that business class. There's a person sitting in economy or in business class, they both have no experience of the business class or the economy class also. So now what do we do? Why don't I seclude myself from the sensual pleasure? Meaning, looking at the drawback of the senses. Meaning, the joy which is coming in once I sit in the seat is gone. Now it is history. When plane takes off, the next thing I'm interested in what they will give me to eat. Maybe business class, they give better things. So they give something. And I don't drink. If I was a drunkard like earlier, I could have had a, can I have a red wine, please? What kind of wine is it? They'll say, since I'm flying by Qantas, they're going to say Australian. I say, not Australian, some other wine. So some negotiation and I get a wine. Can I have the whole bottle, please, if you can? And once I drink that wine, oh, that's it. Over. So basically, why don't I see the drawback, Adinava? And the very moment enter into first jhana, it does. Because now I didn't ill treat the mind that there is no sensual pleasure. I showed it the defect of this pleasure, which is 12 hours at the max. And now drop it. He says, yes, this is not what I expected it to be. Can you give me something better? Yes, drop what you're holding. And it drops. beauty, this instantaneous joy, and a real relaxed feeling. So let's say the air hostess comes and says, "Sir, can I get you something?" Nothing at present. I'm fine. And the wine bottle, which I was so interested, just goes in the background. And she is so damn hot looking. Early, I would have seen the hot portion and escaped the cold portion. And now I don't have anything called as hot or cold portion because it's just a name for a decaying body. So when she comes near, there's no reaction. I just smile and say, thanks for asking. I don't require anything at this point in time. Okay, there it goes. Now, first jhana. The nature of first jhana is such that there are no thoughts of sensual. Very good. As a flight is going up, so vilas is also going up. And then as the flight stabilizes, so vilas also stabilizes, getting into avitaka vichara, which is second stage, where only joy and sukha exist. So there are no thoughts. So the captain makes an announcement. We are cruising at 39,000 feet and you'll get food and all that. Yeah, I'm hungry a little bit. Okay. So then the air hostess comes, she gives me the food. I will eat the food with all senses opened up: smell, taste, hearing, touching, everything is happening. For a meal, no sleep. What's the need to sleep? You're already sleeping to the world. Come to third jhana, sukha. It's like somebody thirsty and given water. That's exact feeling. In this food, 7 minutes, but this feeling of sukha is amazing. It just continues. 1 hour in the flight in sukha, 2 hours in the flight, sukha, 3 hours in the flight, sukha, 4 hours in this flight, sukha. No entertainment. Meaning the panel is there, not feeling any urge to feeling bored or doing have to do something about it. No, nothing. And it says Qantas, and you have a lot of options. You can select language and this and some movies and cartoons and music. You love music, so why don't you? And they give a nice headset, noise cancellation headphones. My noise is already cancelled, so why again have another headphone over a headphone to have a noise cancellation? I'm not hearing any noise. There's absolute stillness. And that stillness is upekkha, the fourth jhana. Now you have done what needs to be done in the rupa realm. How you can enjoy the fifth one. Cut off the plane and cut off your body. You're in space. And that's it. Now the remaining three will automatically happen. And then you feel you become conscious. Mean you become aware of everything around, inside and outside. What is that means? Like in the Chuladasa, he talks about a peripheral awareness, and then you have an introspective awareness. If you use that, you remove the periphery separation and you remove the introspective. What you get is only awareness. There's no particular thing to be aware because you're already aware. There's no thing to be aware. And that breaks into non self, seventh jhana, because there is no self. There was no self from the beginning. So there's no objects which tire the consciousness to go and pluck it. So then you go to seventh. And then I need to wait some time for this eight to happen because I don't want anybody to disturb me. The perception is there. So I slowly first remove the non-perceivable thing. What are the non-perceivable things? Any motion is non-perceivable. So just observe the motions. They become still, like a frame. It's frame by frame by frame by frame coming and going. So then there is a perception of movement. There is no perception itself. So then you are stilled and count 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Cessation. Now there is no flight going to Sydney because there is no you going anywhere. Done. So I would only say if Sydney appears, wake up, else like a if then else in a software program. And that's it. And after a few, I don't know how many moments it is, maybe 9 hours after this episode took place, the air hostess or the captain announces we are 130 kilometers off Sydney. Sydney, I heard right. Oh, yes, ready. In the meanwhile, did you go to washroom? Were you sleeping? Were you awake? Were you sleeping and awake? Were you awake being sleeping? No. Do you know where you are? Yes, I'm in the plane. But were you aware you're in the plane? No. Because it got still. So now I'm back and attend, whatever. And in few moments from then, there may be 20 minutes, 30 minutes from there, the plane lands in Sydney International Airport. So what did you do for 9 hours? A normal person would have slept. But a yogi never sleeps. So do you mean to say you don't require sleep? I didn't say so. That means you require sleep. I didn't say so. Just like now it becomes a tetralemma. Now get down in Sydney, do immigration, fresh, as though you are out of your bed. Catch another flight from Sydney to Brisbane and do the same thing all over again. In 1.5 hours, you make it 20 minutes. As a plane ascends, off. And then when I get down, did you travel from Bangalore to Brisbane? Are you in Brisbane? Are you in Bangalore? Have you gone mad? I don't know. That's the only answer I can give because I'm not feeling anything. So the first few moments after Nirodha Samapatti, you don't feel anything because you can't perceive anything to feel anything there. It just takes a while. It's such a nice feeling. So when compared to this, sensuality looks like trash. Now I've seen it. I've seen it for myself that jhanic pleasure is higher and Nirodha Samapatti is much higher than the jhanic. So now I've seen all the three of them: sensual joy, the sensual happiness, jhanic joy, and the jhanic happiness. And the Niramisa itara, beyond the jhanic. Also, I have seen the joy and happiness. Now my faith in Dhamma is unshakable because I've seen for myself. So the mistake I was doing is not to accept that there is sensual pleasure, one extreme, or accepting that there is only sensual pleasure is another extreme. Accepting that is only sensual pleasure is kama sukhaluka anuyoga, hino gammo puttujjaniko, anariyo anatta samhito. And if I go on to this extreme, there is no sensual pleasure, then I'm going the other end of the spectrum is dukkho, anariyo, anatta samhita. So two extremes is death. And you will never get Nibbana because there's no thing called as Nibbana. It's not a thing. It is giving up is Nibbana. If I give up the view that there is sensuality, is one extreme. If I give up a view that there is no sensuality, is another extreme. I just have to give up, irrespective there is sensuality or no sensuality. The moment I take one coin and then I toss it, it's the heads or tails. You can't cut out the heads from the tails or the tail from the head. That means you can't say there is no countersign. Just like if you look at the Chula Vedala Sutta, the countersign, you can't cut it. If there is pleasure, there is pain as a countersign. And if there is pain, there is pleasure as a countersign. You can't cut off one and keep the other. So that means it runs on quanta. And quantum mechanics is the same thing. Take two coins. Both can be heads, both can be tails, and both can be nothing. So Buddha Dhamma is no thing, void of. So if I say Nibbana exists, it means something exists. If I say Nibbana doesn't exist, that means it doesn't exist. There's nothing there. No. If I say they both exist and don't exist, or exist to exist, or exist, non-exist to exist, you can keep on using the language and syntax to make different meanings out of it. But eventually, it makes no sense. The only sense it makes is see the things they are. Sensual, pleasure, pain is there. Jhanic, pleasure, pain is there. There is Niramisa Dukkha. Please understand. There's nothing like only Niramisa Sukha is there. There is Niramisa Dukkha because you're not getting the jhana, what you expected it to happen. There is Niramisa Dukkha. And when you come to the Niramisa Itara, other than the jhanic, first one to drop is moha, delusion, not the raga and dvesha. They are not your enemies. Enemy for consciousness is moha. There are three mohas you have to remove. The first moha is unacceptance. You start to work up in such a way that you start to deny everything. And that's the madness of moha. Meaning, if I see my wife, I deny she's my wife. No. That's moha. It's as good as saying I have my wife. And Buddha calls it as manyana, considering. If you consider, it's as good as non considering. They both are the same. It means one and the same thing. You're making things up in the mind. Now you're making one thing up, now you're making another thing up. Wife is a designation. Son is a designation. Just like I am a father is a designation or a role that needs to be played. That's okay. Absolutely fair. Fair. That's a title and designation. And there's a description for that. Okay. Make much trouble for me. Once I do that, the acceptance happens, then non acceptance. Second mistake is to push it. You can't push the darkness. You can remove the darkness. Buddha calls it tama, means darkness. So you can't push darkness. The darkness will go. If you show light, darkness will go, but you can't push darkness. It's stupidity. How can you push darkness? Bring the light of wisdom. This goes. So you can only bring panya, not anything else. Right? You have to see the things they are. Third one is anatta instead of atta. That's the center point on which everything is running. Here, it's not the basic self view, as in Sakkaya Ditthi, or in non self of the seven jhana. It is total removal of ignorance. And the avidya itself is that. So the third one. That is ignorance. The I, the atta is going to be there. Even for an anagami, there is an atta. And the anatta is when no atta stays, little bit also. So you agree there is ignorance. Agree. Yes, I do have ignorance. Third one. Fourth one. Nibbana is not a thing to achieve. That's again moha. If I'm striving for Nibbana, is never going to happen. Who says so? Mula Pariyaya Sutta says so. Not me. Oh, Nibbanam Paramam Sukham. So we are all wishing each other, may you attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Yeah, that wish is fine. But there is no thing called as Nibbana. If you want to get Nibbana, you will never get it. It's not a thing you will go and buy somewhere and say, you know what, Bobby, today I attend Nibbana. Bobby can say, mad guy. How did you attain Nibbana, Vilas? You know what happened? I was sitting and suddenly, what happened? It bursted. What? Nibbana. How was the sound of the bursting? Can't explain to you, Bobby. Really can't explain. Then don't explain. Bobby, I think you should have it. I think I'll send some 20 boxes of Nibbana to your house. No. And then what is Nibbana? What is the meaning? What's the essence of Nibbana? Nibbita is to extinguish. If there is complete extinguishment, you know it is extinguished. The fire is extinguished. Fire of what? Raga. The fire of dvesha. The fire of moha is extinguished. So first you saw the anicca nature, deep one, which removed the nama from the rupa. Then the dukkha cycle was the combination of nama and rupa. So then you vinyana disconnected the nama the Rupa with Vijnana. So the Vijnana never had anything to burn because Nama Rupa Samudaya, Rupa Samudaya, sorry, Vijnana Samudaya. Nama Rupa Nirodho Vijnana Nirodha. Then you removed the Nama, the Rupa is gone. So the Vijnana cannot now eat anything. It waits. And when it waits, no food given, what happens to the fire? Stops burning. Atta comes when Nama Rupa comes. Now, so from yesterday, now it is so many hours. I am in stillness. So 24 hours have passed. 24 plus hours have passed. It's chilled. If it crosses 7 days, we'll see. But for now, 1 day has passed. Used to be 8 hours. Now it is 26, 27 hours. It's nice. That doesn't mean that I'm not recognizing Bobby or Veena or Archana or Adu. The first thing I trying to do in the morning is to see whether I can see everyone, hear everyone, everything. I'm exactly having as yesterday. But it's not that song yesterday once more. There's no once more. It's a different feel. But there's no feeling. Like Shaniel was asking me when we spoke few hours ago, how do you feel, Vilasji? I said, there's no feeling. There's nothing to feel. I'm not feeling anything. It's nice. So let's see how long does it take. But this, if it stays, I don't know, it stays or because jhana, when you do it, it comes down. Now this guy has not come down. 27 plus hours, not come down. Just stayed. So if you ask me, are you nibbana? If I say yes, it's a problem. If I say no, it's also a problem. If I say I don't know, it's also a problem because this is undefinable. It's become 1/0. I don't know how to put it. Simple. So this is paramam sukham because there is nothing which is appearing. There is nothing which is disappearing. And that's the end of suffering. So I put across all the stages I would do on the plane and how I would stay and what you could do and all of that. So now you're a free person. Go wherever you want, stay however you want. So the journeyman ends. That's all I had to share.
Thank you, Vilasji. Hopefully, your stillness continues.
Hopefully, let's say, let's see. But it's calm. It's so calm abiding. Just I don't know what to express, but it's
No need to express, just
yeah,
be.
yeah. You are having one kind, and now that you can't express. You can't say. You can't put in words and saying that. But it's different. I mean, your eyes say different. Your from day before, it's different. You can notice the difference. I mean, at least I can. I don't know how far you're noticing it. About your difference. You are?
Yeah, for sure.
And that cuts your, like you was talking yesterday about the Gotrubu, your lineage changes. It just shifts. Just one kick is out. And a whole thing changes. You can't even say I was like this because there's no referential point.
Mm.
You know there's a difference. And then somebody like Bobby comes back again to your house and then he can make that difference because he would have seen you earlier and now and then can make out. Otherwise, you yourself cannot make out the subtle difference. You can only say something happened. Like, something happened on the way to heaven. So you are in a living heaven while in hell. So you're doing the same functions basically, but it's totally different.
Mm.
Any questions from anyone? I don't know what to answer, if at all they were.
No questions from Bobby or Harry? That's unusual.
I think my new teacher told like ask this question.
Bobby, you should be yourself.
No,
You can say
I'm just,
anything.
I'm just joking, and actually I don't have any. I'm not thinking yet, but it was a beautiful talk.
I'm on the train, so just ignore.
What is that, Eddie?
Ariu, we
Says
couldn't
on
hear
the
you.
phone.
We couldn't hear you properly.
I'm on the train, so it's not coming out very well. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't want to disturb. But I guess up until Anagami, you can say I'm Anagami, but not until that. You cannot say that.
Okay, so there should be a change in the behavior pattern of mind. So that's another focusing thing. So let's see how that works because it changes everything. It changes
So
the.
is this happened before yesterday's Dhamma talk, Vidashi? The 27 hours means before yesterday's Dhamma talk.
No, it was before. So yesterday, while I was questioning
Shenier.
Shaniel, I was doing extempore, totally free of anything.
So maybe that Shenier's news also might have triggered that.
I don't know. It could.
Happiness.
Yeah, it's very happy for him. Very happy. So I was telling him in the morning of my 2018 onwards when I started this Desana thing. Now we are 2025. 7 years have gone by. I was waiting for one person to pick it up.
We can feel your joy with that news.
Yeah. I was wondering, people were saying that with this, whenever whoever listened earlier also, they say that it's too good, but we're not able to penetrate. I was only wondering, somebody can penetrate whatever I'm saying. It's from the sutta. It's not from any tradition or any belief or whatever it is. So I was so convinced about myself that I can get this through sutta, that I don't require anyone. I don't require any retreats or any kind of ideologies or whatever. I was wishing somebody, like when I first met Ariu, I was thinking, okay, since we used to discuss on Discord forum, I wanted him to pick it up and take it forward. So when Shaniel said day before yesterday, I felt at least one person has done it the way I said it. It is possible. It's possible in this life, number one. It's possible through sutta, number two. It's possible through your own effort, number three. And the worst part is, in Sri Lanka, they don't believe a lay person can be a sotapanna. That's a absurd way of looking at it. And in Thailand, they go by forest tradition. Then in Burma, they go by some other tradition. And I was sick and tired of these traditions. And they have their own opinions. They have their own way of looking at things. It's difficult. So I gave up. And I just wanted Dhamma. I don't want a seal on the Dhamma saying that, oh, you know what, this is from that tradition. I don't care. What tradition you bring has got nothing to do with what reality is. So I didn't wanted that. So I felt day before yesterday when he wrote to me, I felt at least one person got it. Okay, my journey ends. And certainly it did. Because I was putting so much of effort to get it. Because whatever I'm experiencing, I want somebody to get it and somebody to get it. Whether they listen, they don't listen, I get number of subscriber increasing or not increasing, I care a damn about it. And those things are not my domain at all. So if nobody sees also is fine with me. I'll just do what I'm supposed to do. I'll just continue doing it till my last breath and that's it. Oh, don't care much for that. Okay, anyway, yes, Veena, you wanted to ask me something? No, very good. Glad that you don't have anything to ask. Yes, Mangalaji. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
I'm very grateful to you for exposing us to all this Dhamma and very happy to listen to Shanil. My question is, and thank you very much. My question is that how much does physical fitness or exercise, daily exercise, I mean, does it pay in the long run, or is it the process itself heals you? I mean, just the breathing and staying on the breath, does that only help you, or say yoga and exercise? Is it also necessary? Because I, being a doctor, I feel the more of homeostasis you achieve, the easier it will be to transcend into the Dhamma.
Yes, Mangala, do you have a car?
Yes,
Do you drive a car?
yes, yes.
Okay, how much of the maintenance is good for the car?
Complete?
And the same way, the body also have to be nourished, also have to be taken care, because that's a vehicle.
Yes, yes. Very nicely answered. Yeah.
They both are the same.
Yeah.
If I am under a mad impression that I just sit and meditate, and that's going to be a real red flag, because that causes bodily convulsions to all kind of diseases coming by. So you need to, and in fact, Mangala, there is a sutta called the Chankama Sutta, and Buddha says for samadhi, walking is the best thing. So, okay, so physical fitness is as required as mental fitness. So if we were to see, it's like this: meditation, that is the jhana from 1 to 8, is mental fitness. Okay, and the physical fitness can be yoga or walking or stretching. All of that is for body fitness. You require mental fitness, 1 to 8 jhanas. and body fitness. If you compromise on body fitness, mental fitness goes away. If you compromise on mental fitness, only the mental fitness goes away if you think, no, it will have an impact on body. And hence it is called a psychosomatic disorder, because psycho is the mind, somatism is the body. They both are interlinked. So you can't do one and skip the other. So maintaining your body is as required as maintaining the mind. So if somebody can ask like this, Mangala, again, another question. Do you have a computer at your home?
Yes.
Right. So hardware is your body, is the body of the computer, and the softwares are the mind. You need to know which software to run and which software not to run, so that it doesn't take resources, is what the mental fitness is all about, the jhana, what we are trying to do. So this kind of discernment of what software to run and what software to not run in the Dhamma is called as yoniso manasikara and ayoniso manasikara. Meaning you observe, this software, if I run, is going to take more resources and it destroys the conscious experience. So then don't do it. That is akusala dhamma. Throw it out. Those softwares like pornography, not required, not, doesn't help anyone. Like some games, doesn't help anyone, just waste time. Some news, some this, some that, some war news, and this one and that one, whether you should support Israel or Palestine or Iran or this, that, US, whatever it is. All these are junk things. Throw it out. Those softwares are not required. Then what softwares are required? That which can get you peace. Play those which gives you peace, and remove those software which doesn't give peace. Just cut it off. Then take care of the computer hardware. Don't throw the hardware, please. Excuse me. Please don't throw the hardware. Take care of the hardware. Eat in such a way that you don't get sick. You don't feel tired. Eat too much eating, tiredness. Not eating, tiredness. Cut the tiredness. Eat what is required. Let it be nutritious food, no junk food. Nutritious. Exercise. Exercise your body, because you require it to be supple. So exercise. It's not you who is exercising, giving exercise to the body, just like you're giving a bath to the body. Doesn't matter whether you cleaned it with the Dove soap or some other soap or whatever it is. You can do it. No, I've been told that no soap. Okay, then use cow dung. I don't know what dung you want to use. Horse dung? Okay, apply it. No, I'm going to go to Dead Sea and put the mud. Okay, please carry on. Put whatever you want. I don't care. But don't stink. Meaning, make the body not stink, because it stinks. So you have to take care of that. So does that mean should you put on perfumes? Yeah, if you're sweaty kind and it stinks, you're not putting to yourself, you're putting to the body. That's it. So you're taking care of the other human being who is coming near you, so that he don't feel disgusted. It's just like asking, should I brush my teeth? Yes, if you want to talk to someone, you need to brush your teeth. Should I wash my bum? Yes, if you want to wear something, you better have to do that. So don't ask me such stupid questions. Just
You
take care.
just talked about common sense.
Yes, it's common sense, right? So we shouldn't take extremes. Do what is required for the body. And we have got urinals for that same reason. Can I piss wherever I want? No, you can, like a dog or like animal, but you have dedicated urinals. Just go and do what you're supposed to do. Simple. Common sense. After coming to Buddha Dhamma, I stopped peeing in the urinals. Then where do you piss? On the road. Excellent. When did Buddha teach you such things? No, I was reading one sutta. It said that you shouldn't go for urination. Which sutta is that? Which particular sutta? He talks about don't give excuses. He doesn't say that don't go and piss. There's a difference between giving excuses and doing it. So, like that, we need to train the mind. It's about training the mind, like training the body. You have to train the body. The body by itself doesn't do anything. You have to put on weights and then do all of that so that your muscles grow. In the same way, the brain has capacity, and the mind is more capacity than the brain. So, what you do, there's something called a DMT, DMN, direct mode network. You cut that. That's your basic habitual pattern. And use the neuroplasticity to open new channels in the brain, which cuts the old habits and creates new ones. And in that way, all the previous habits which are stored in a place called as amygdala is completely removed. So using your prefrontal cortex to the best. And you have created new neural pathways, which is new networks. Thrown off the old network, created a new network. Now you will not do the same thing again. Let's say I was drinking. The drinking is because of dopamine. And dopamine created serotonin, oxytocin, and it made me forget my pains, which is endorphins. So what I do, I require dopamine. The first jhana surpasses dopamine. So the dopamine requirement comes so down that I only survive on serotonin, which is secured feeling, oxytocin, acceptance, and sorry, yeah, and endorphins, which snubs the pain. Now I feel pleasure. And I go with all the jhanas into the arupa jhanas. Serotonin drops, oxytocin drops, dopamine drops, endorphin drops. In its place, there is, they have named a very nice hormone called Ananda, Anandamidi. I'll share that. You will be shocked. There is a chemical called Ananda, Anandamide. Okay?
Yes, they have done studies where there is a redistribution of the blood in the brain. I mean, they have documented that by a dynamic MRI, and they have shown that the blood supply, changes to the frontal cortex and the limbic system. I have that paper with me, uh, and I'll share. I can share. This is the second time I'm reading it, and of course, they've measured the hormones, like you said.
Mangalaji,
Uh,
in my life, I want to meet you once so that I can talk more about from a neuroscience perspective.
so the book Mind Illuminated has been written.
By
Kuldasa
him
is
only,
actually.
I know that, but he doesn't use much of it. But I know how this thing flows, how to cut it off, and how to increase Anandamide.
Okay. Right.
Anyway,
So I will be coming sometime to
yes,
meet you.
yeah.
Definitely.
Whenever you feel healthy and fit, you can just book a flight to
Yes.
Bangalore and come.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So there is there's a hormone which used in the brain, which is Ananda, and that Ananda is the one which takes you to Nibbana. That is the chemical which literally pushes in all the tubercles and your brain expands. And you are created neuroplasticity. The new networks are capable of taking pleasure and 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 pleasure to the infinite. So you cross the ocean of samsara from pain and pleasure cycle to the pleasure. That's a landmark achievement of human mind. So I had many experiments to do at Shaniel's home, and unfortunately, he has cut many of these experiments. So now I have to create new experiments to be taken to his house. I was thinking when I go there, and then we'll do this, and then he'll get into the ninth jhana, and then I'll see for myself and all that. But it's good that it is achieved much earlier than that. It's good, nice one. So the advanced ones of getting into Anandamidi, all of that, how the chemicals will change and how the blood pressure comes down of Shaniel. I want to watch that. And there's so many things I want to see because he's now my new guinea pig to experiment upon because my heartbeats go down. I want to check how that works for him. How much can it go down? Can you bring it to 32? So the heart stops. So I just want to test all of that. See.
And we'll still have fun, Vilasji, don't worry. Lots to experiment on.
Yeah, there is a lot of experimentation we can do. And we can create some games.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we'll have a good time.
Yeah, you can have a good time. That's for sure. I mean, we can find new ways of doing it rather than I had a pre programmed stuff and then I deleted it. I said, okay, this half of things doesn't make sense. So I have to create new ones, which I'll do it. I'll share it with you before I come so that we can play games and see if this happens, and then you can see the result. It's beautiful, Shaniel. It doesn't take time. That's the fun part of Buddha Dhamma. You apply this and you do this, you get that. There's nothing like, I'm going to wait. No, it just comes there. It's fun.
Great. I look forward to it.
Yep, can do that. And when Aryu and Anusha and all these people come, and then we can give them better games to play.
New guinea pigs.
No, they're new guinea pigs, but then we can give them better games.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Vilasji. I have to drop as well.
Same here. Even I had to drop. I had to go for a meeting.